In the name of God the Almighty, peace to you. Today I will speak about the words of God, because God created everything with word and light. And of course, came first. And the words are the expression of the self or the spirit, and it comes directly out of the consciousness. So God imagined things, predetermined things, how things will be. Then He expressed what He wanted, and everything came into being according to that. So word is both expression and a tool in order to create order and in order to create. Now, if we look around us, whether we are scientists, whether we are writers, whether we are poets, whether we are, architects, normal employee, a trader, uh, any type of business, any type of creativity, if we are even artists, anything needs word for a start. So word is a pillar of creation, regardless of what we are creating. So without words, we can't do anything. If we want to build a house, we need to use words. If we want to write a novel, we have to use words. If we are to calculate something, we have also to use words. Without words, nothing exists in the physical realm. So that's the importance of the word, and that's why God words are unlimited, and because it goes beyond one single creator, and it is a tool for each and every creator, mini creator or big creator. So that's why it's very stubborn and it's very retard from any being to think that God words only exist in a couple of sheets of paper or in a book. Even if it's 100% coming from God Himself, you cannot minimize God and reduce Him into just a Bible or a Torah or Quran or Buddha teachings or Dharma or whatever. Because first of all, God is not an entity that uh, ceased to evolve. It's always on the move. Uh, it's always, changing. Uh, However, if we look around us, change is the only stable thing. And change is one aspect of God the Almighty. Uh, However, what we can understand of the change that God the Almighty always wants is a positive change. That means a change towards more light, towards more peace and harmony inside His creation. So the words are very important tools, and since God is the source of all the truth, because He's truth and love, we have to understand that when we use words and when we manipulate and when we lie, we are harming the harmony of God's creation. And that's why we deserve the punishment we get if we use words in order to manipulate or to take advantage of others, or to try to, use these tools for just pure selfish reason. What does that mean? For example, if I am a scientist and all what I care for is to bring or create a theory that just for my own grandiose or my own fame and create my own name, nothing else, that means I am not someone who's worthy of this tool, and I'm not someone who's worthy to survive after my death. And while if you are someone who's using science and the word of science in order to serve humanity and for a good cause, uh, of course, no one will deny you your credit, but what is in your heart behind your research, that's what counts. So this is the importance of using the words properly, because word is a very powerful weapon. So we can use them to curse, or we can use them to construct, we can use them to destroy, we can use them to manipulate, we can use them to search for the truth. We can use them to publish the truth. We can use them to publish a propaganda or advertise. So, and especially today, the words have been used mainly, unfortunately, today in our world for manipulation, for advertisement, for taking advantage of people. And that's why there is a huge pollution in the information world, or the world of the word. Uh, so this one aspect of the pollution we are of this age. It's not only the pollution related to environment and ecosystem, but there is also pollution in the information, and there are lots of lies being believed, not only 100 years ago or 200 years ago. There are some lies that's lasting for thousands of years, unfortunately. And there are plenty also of guessing. However, we know that many people guess because they don't have any ability to be certain of the truth or what the truth is to find it. For example, we cannot blame historians if they, gave approximate results of a research related to a civilization that lived thousands of years ago or something. So they did their best with what's available. So that is always the intention taken in account related on how we use our words. So when we behave godly, we have to be certain that we don't use the words to manipulate, to spread lies, to take advantage of people, to abuse people, to spread fear, to play on the weaknesses of people, like for example what the priests and many religious leaders and imams use to take advantage of people who have limited knowledge and limited consciousness, if you like. uh, so many people are taking advantage of others using words, and that's why God has warned in many books that we will be held accountable because of what we used to say, or how we used our words. And that's why, because word could kill someone. If you are, for example, spreading accusations towards someone who's totally innocent from what you are accusing him or her of, it's very dangerous for them psychologically. It's very dangerous because when you destroy someone's reputation, it will be very difficult for him to reconstruct it back. And I mean, I'm just giving an example from social life. Especially today, it's very easy to throw accusations all over the place. Uh, uh, However, people should identify whether we are for example, joking with one another, or we are serious in what we are saying. So words could be used to create anything. Without words, all what we have do not exist. There is no living world without words. Imagine everything is silent. There's no life. So words are very important. However, they are very dangerous. They could be very dangerous, and they could be very constructive. So it's like everything that exists around us, we have we have the ability to use them for good or use them for bad. That's why, writing books and delivering lectures or speeches is available for everyone. However, people have the duty to listen and to read and to take on or take inside their minds only what the logic accepts and what goodness accepts, what common sense accepts, and just drop off the rest. Regardless if they are reading a holy text, if they are reading a novel, if they are reading a science book, anything they are reading or anything they are listening to. They have to take on board only what's logical, what's acceptable, and what is really positive. So this is a duty of each and every one of us. That's because we should not get manipulated. We should not get, accept to be fed lies. We should, identify this preacher who's preaching falsehood and leading us, for example, to get attached to labels or to hate others or to, you have, as I said, it's all related on how much you understand the world around you and how much you understand your creator and how much you understand yourself. It's all related to all these things. And then when you understand all these things, you can clearly identify what is the word you should be listening to and what is the word you should completely turn a deaf ear to. And this should not come from prejudgment or prejudice on the person who's speaking or on the writer of the book you are reading or the source. You have, if you want to always be on the side of the truth, you have always to be neutral in your judgment. That means you don't drop off this book just because it's written from someone who's American, for example, or Iranian, or uh, um, a name from a background you don't like, or a name from a country you despise, for example, or something you have just to give prejudice before you open the book and read what is inside of it. Because many people today, and I have witnessed it firsthand when I used to send my novels to publishers, if I use my real name, it will be completely ignored. And when I change my name to something else that could be someone they like to deal with, I get response, whether positive or negative. So we are living in a world full of prejudice, full of injustice. We have always to, if we are really godly, we have to be always balanced. We have to be always neutral in dealing with anything around us and with everything around us. That's why our words should be coming out of our keyboards or our mouth as balanced as possible, and we try to remove any prejudice or try to remove any uh, thing that's we are not sure of. That means uh, I can say, for example, in a conversation that Leonardo DiCaprio and that, I don't know, I use a word, a beast of Hollywood or whatever, just because I don't like the actor. We have to be careful. You don't know the person, even if you don't like him in the movies, for example. You don't know him as a person. So it's better not to give your own judgment on someone specifically by name, and to name person by name. If you want to generalize, it's a different story. Uh, you can say, for example, the vast majority of people around the world are not awakened, and they are being used and taken advantage of, and they are following lies. You can say that, but you can't say, for example, this guy called blah blah blah, he's stupid, he's I don't know what. You have to try not to go into uh, uh, personification and into attacking a specific type of people or a specific group of people or whatever. However, you have to say clearly the truth as it is, and that the truth doesn't care about opinions, and truth uh, is beyond labels. So all those who people who attach themselves to labels, because I sometimes speak with people of Muslim background or Christian background or Jewish background, and they say the Torah. The first of thing was the Torah, or the first thing was the Quran, or first thing the Bible was the eight and Z and blah blah blah. All these people are coming just from what their parents used to tell them, and what some kind of religious leaders they follow, or the books they read. However, there is not single book or not a single source of information that could resume God or anything related to God. It's just a portion, a drop in an ocean. So all these, you know, people who claim to know everything from A to Z, they are, a bit uh, cheating on themselves, if you like, or do not want to see the truth as it is. Because the truth, as I said, you have to seek it neutrally. So whenever we deal with words, we have to be careful, because we have to be responsible of what we are saying, and also because people are get affected by what we are saying, whether we are writing it, whether we are saying it. And uh, this is a very important thing to understand in our social life, in our daily life, in our professional life, and in our prayers even. And so we have to be careful not to curse someone uh, in an angry moment, for example. It happened to me once, and it was lethal. So since then, I became very careful not to, express, uh, even if I was wronged, But you have to be careful, because you don't know where heaven is really accepting your call, especially when you are wronged and there's injustice, clear injustice done to you. So we have to be forgiving, we have to be merciful, and so we try to, modify words or simplify them as much as we can. Uh, So we have to understand that words, as I said, are tools for everything around us, and they are tools of creating things. Uh, when we live in a world like today, filled of lies and manipulations, uh, it is because we are, sharing these lies or believing in them. And that's what hurt me too much. When you see, for example, you go on YouTube, you have channels with millions and hundreds of millions of followers, and they are spreading lies. So people like to, listening to myths or to, some kind of illogical beliefs rather than believing in the real thing. Truth is not that popular because it doesn't go with what people expect or what people love to have, especially the selfish people and the narcissistic ones, which are, now more than half of the world's population, and it's getting worse by the minute. So we have problem in our hands, but we have, as I said, to understand that God words are unlimited, and God words could change uh, whenever He want. However, what doesn't change is God's way here, or commandments, or the way of lifestyle He wants us to have here, because God characteristics are stable, like He's peaceful, loving, caring, merciful, just, and all these things. So these things are the way we should behave. This is the way we should behave. This is stable. However, things related to time, things related to places, things related to natural events are all things under constant change. They are always changing. So this is it from me today. I hope I gave words, uh, you know, some kind of enough definition, if you like. So that's it from me today. Bye for now.